Hi student, welcome to Mr. D class. Today is a moment to study how to solving quadratic equation by completed square. You learn today how to solve quadratic equation using one important method, and the method is complete square. The quadratic equation is represented by these expressions. Has the form a square plus and minus bx plus and minus c equals 0 when a, b, and c are real numbers and a is different of 0. When you have some quadratic equations, you have three different solutions. Maybe you have two solutions, or you have one solution, or maybe you don't have solution. And that is very important. Not all quadratic equation has two solutions. Maybe you have two solutions, one solution, or no solution. Today, I wanted to show you how to solving the quadratic equation using completing the square. If you want to learn how to complete the square or how to find the method, I recommend that you see the video before this video, and the name is completing square to the trinomial. I recommend you to see this video. And today I'm going to show you how to solve the quadratic equation in this form. Yeah, you have this form, and now see this example. The coefficient of the variable x squared is 1. The coefficient of the x squared is 1. And I'm going to show you in this case, in this video, what you have to do when the coefficient is not 1. But before to give you the solution of this kind of problem, I'm going to start you with solve the problem when the coefficients here is 1. You see here, the coefficient here is 1. What do you have to do? Number one, you move the constant term to another side. Then, if this is in this side, 49, when you move 49 to another side, because this is adding, when you move here is subtracting. Okay? Now, what you have to do? You select the coefficient of the x, the coefficient of the term with the exponent of the x is 1, and you divide by 2. And you have two important numbers. The first important number is 7. And you find the square of this number, and the square of this number is 49. Listen, this is the two important number I have to use to solve the quadratic equation using complete square. I'm going to use 7 and I use 9 to find the solution. Now, if I add 49 to this side of the equation, you need to subtract. You need to add, if you add 49 in one side, you need to add 49 to another side to don't change the equations. Now, in the class before to this, I give you the example, and I show that this expression is a perfect square. And because this is the perfect square, I can represent this expression as x minus 2, x minus 7. What is 7? 7 is the value of b. 7 is the value that you find when you get it this, and you divide by 2, and you get the value 7. That's a number I had to use here. And I use negative because you have negative on the equation. And now, what do you do now? 49 minus 49 is 0. Listen now to me. I did this because you know from the class before with the completed square, when you had the expression like this, you see 14 is equal 2 times 7 times 1. A is 1, B is 7, and 1 times 7 is 7 times 2 is 14. And a B is 7 to square is 49. Then this is a perfect square. And the perfect square can be represented by this. Now the value of the A is 1, the value of B is 7, and you get here the value here is 1, and the value here is 7, and you use the negative sign, because negative is in the expression. Now, when you add negative 49 plus 49 is 0, and now to solve this equation, you need to find a square root in the both sides, and a square root 0 is 0, and now you add 7 to the both sides, and finally you have the answer 7. In this problem, I have only one solution. Only one solution. Another example. Remember, we're going to work the coefficients. The coefficient here, the coefficient of the x here is 1. Here is 1. Okay? The coefficient of x squared is 1. I'm going to give you the fast method to solve the quadratic equation using the complete square. First step, you select the value of the h, this h. You select the value of the h, this one. You select this one. When you select the value of the h, you divide h by 2. And the value of the h by 2 will be the value of b. Okay? And you rewrite the equation moving the constant k to another side of the equation. Now, if k is positive, when you move is negative, and when k is negative, and you move to another side. Now, I have a new equation. I am going to work with this new equation. What is the other step? Step number 3, you rewrite this equation like this. Always is x is going to be x minus b. What is the value of b? The value of b is h you have here, divided by 2 is the value of b, and this is the value, this value is the value that you put here. Okay? Plus and minus, k continue, but now you add, what are you going to add? You add the values b to square. When you do this, you finally, remember b is a square. Finally, you find the square root and solve the equation. I'm going to show you this using one example. Listen, see, in this example, you see this is the term with x squared. The coefficient here is 1. The value of k is 16. Now, what I have to do? I select the value 24 is h. H you divide by 2. I rewrite. You rewrite the equation. You select the values 24. You divide 24 by 2. And the value is 12. Remember, this 12 will be the value of b and will be the value 12. This 12. Let me show you. This 12 will be the values b here, and you get the b squared, and you get this. Okay? Now, 12 squared is 144. You need to use 12 squared to substitute here. Finally, you have x is x here, plus, because you have positive, plus 12. What is 12? The result of 24 divided by, it is this. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Now, 12 is the value of b, equal negative 16 is this value you have before, and 144, this value is the value of 12 to square. And now you add negative 16 plus 144 is 128. You find the square root, and you move toward to another side, and finally you have two answers. When there is, remember, always when you find the square root in this step, when you find the square root of 128, you need, it's very important, you need to consider the positive and the negative answer. Okay? That's very, very important. Now, continue here now in this step, continue here. You can represent 120a is equal 64 times 2. But now the square root of 64 is a, and you keep 2 inside of the root, and finally is negative 12 plus a square root 2 and negative 12 minus square root 2. This is the final solution. Another example. Continue here. Remember, the value of the a here is 1. Remember, first step, move the constant term, you move to another side because it's positive. When you move to another side, now it's negative. What another step? You divide. The coefficient of the x is 4, and now you divide 4 by 2, and the answer is 2. This is the value of b. Remember, this is b. The b that you're going to use in this equation, and the b that you had to use in this expression. Okay? Now, finally, you get this. 2 squared is 4 because you need to use in this side. This is 2 squared is 4. And now, remember, b is 2 because you have here negative sign, you use here negative sign. This is the value of the b that you find here. This is the value that you find here. Okay? And this 4 is this value. Okay? Using this expression, using this one. Now, is 2. 13 minus 4 is negative 9. But what happened in this problem? You find a square root, but the negative number doesn't have real square root. Now, in this case, always when the number inside of the square, here, inside of the square, is negative, you have no solution. Always. Remember, when the inside of the square root, the number is negative, the answer is no solution. In the first example, we have one solution. Second example, 2 solutions. And the third example, no solution. Another example. Continue with the same thing. Now, move 7 to another side. You get the value of 5 and you divide by 2. And you find the square of 5 divided by 2. Now, this number 5 over 2 is going to be here. And this number is going to be here. Okay? And now, this is 5. Okay, 5 over 2. This is this one. You do the operation here. You find a square. You add this expression, this, and a square root, and move 5 to another side, and we have 2 solutions. Another example. Oh, the problem now, I have 2 here. 2. It's not 1, but I need to change my equation. What I have to do, I'm going to divide by 2. But remember, the first step, it moved 20 to another side. And I divide my equation by 2. And now I have the coefficient here, 1. And you continue with the same step for the exercise before. Now I select 3. And I divide by 2 is 3 over 2. That's the value of b. Remember, the value of b is 3 over 2. You need to find 3 over 2 squared to find the value of b squared. And now this is b. Remember to square equal 10. 10 here. And 9 over 2. 9 over 2 is this value that you find here. You solving. Square root 49 is 7. The square root of the 4 is 2. And you do the operation. 3 plus 7 is 10 divided by 2. And you find the 2 answers. Another example is similar. Select the bar, move 3 to another side. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. And now you substitute 4 is this value and 16 is this value. You do the operation, find a square root, and you have two solutions. Similar, the same now. But what you have to do, move 11 to another side, you divide by 5, and you have like this. Now what you have to do, you need to divide 3 over 5 divided by 2 is 3 over 10. 3 over 5 divided by 2 is 3 over 10. This is the value of b. This 3 over 10 is going to be b, this value. And 3 over 10 squared is 9 over 100 is this value. Now, just substitute here 3 negative because you have negative on the equation. 3 over 10 is the value of the b that you find here. And so it's here. You find here. And 9 over 100 is this value. You do the operation for a square root, and you have two solutions. This is an example, and I give it to you. I recommend that you copy this exercise right now. Copy this exercise. I will give you 2 minutes to copy this exercise to work in class right now. Thank you, student, for have to give me the opportunity to teach this class today. Have a wonderful time. I hope that you learned today how to find the solution of the quadratic equation using complete square. Thank you. Have a good day.